Hello and welcome to This Week, brought to you by the award-winning Adda TV and the Cyprus Star newspaper. My name is Maggie White and I'm looking forward to talking you through the headlines of the best weekly English language newspaper here in the TRNC. And it's the only English language newspaper that's produced in the TRNC and sold overseas. And if you happen to be one of those lucky people that are watching overseas, then why not go and have a look at our paper online, which is www.cyprusstar.net, and then you can be up to date with all the news. And that's www.cyprusstar.net. Well, every week, as you know, I have a guest with me. This week, I'm very excited. It's lovely when we have somebody visiting from across the seas. This is no exception. We have Sonia Kofi. Thank you very much for coming all the way from London.
Thank you for having me.
But also to promote your fabulous book.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, getting it into print. That's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much.
But we're going to talk about it later. Just in case you haven't seen it, it's called The Green Line. We're going to be talking about it later in the programme, so don't miss it. This is the book of the century, I can assure you of that. It is, it's lovely. But I want to talk about that later. But Cyprus Star headlines this week. We'll go through them. Calls for supermarkets to close on Sunday. I'm sure we'll have a bit to say about that. The end of an era for journalism and the hotline established to denounce illegal workers. But we'll start with our major story, which is North Cyprus TV stations unite in a show of strength. This is something that's never happened here before in this country, and that all of the stations have got together now because they want a level playing field here. They don't feel that it is a level playing field. So they've all got together. The Star Media Group chairman, Ali Osman Safa, is chairing the meeting, and if there's anybody that's going to sort it out, he is definitely the man to sort it. So we'll have to watch this space because they're going to bring it to everybody's attention, especially to the government, and say, you know, we're not happy with what's happening here. So they've already got a meeting with the government. I think it's on Tuesday. And just coming into the studio tonight, I saw Mr. Zafar, and he said that there is another television programme going out tonight, 10 o'clock tonight until 2 o'clock in the morning. Every station in North Cyprus will have the same programme.
The 5 stations.
5 stations. Yeah. And it will be talking about the petrol stations that are going up in the car paths. Right. Now, if you know the car paths, it's stunning, isn't it? It's just beautiful. So to put a petrol station up there when nobody has been asked up there whether they like it or not. So the programme tonight, whichever station you watch from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, it will be the same programme. So watch it because this is something very, very different here in North Cyprus. So you can't get away from this programme and you will certainly hear lots of things. It will bring lots of different points of view to the table and it will be interesting next week. I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week. Our competition here, have you entered the competition? Because Sona here will be signing books tomorrow and we'll be giving away 3 copies, won't you, tomorrow?
Yes.
At the...
bestsellers in Karakum.
That's just by the Limar supermarket, isn't it?
Yes,
so you can't miss it. Everybody knows where the supermarket is there. Yeah. So, and what time are you going to be there?
That's from 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock.
Right. And Sue, our editor, says she has a box full. So there's lots of people want this book,
yeah.
So you'll be able to dive in and...
yeah, I think Marian's doing the picking up of the winners.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you're going to sign these books?
Yes.
Practising your signature?
Yep, been practising.
Up all night practising. Right, we'll move on to page 2. And this is an extra special day because we had Women's Day, which was celebrated on Thursday, March the 8th in the TRNC. And also 2 ladies produced 2 beautiful babies on the same day. So that was an extra special Women's Day, wasn't it?
Yes,
always
nice
to see new life coming into the country, young babies.
Of course.
And we've got the Tulip Festival this weekend. So please, please, can we have some decent weather? Because I think you've got some nice weather in London, haven't you?
Yeah, I think we've left it there. Yeah.
Couldn't you have brought it in a suitcase?
If I'd known, I would have.
Did you bring any woolly jumpers with you?
No, I didn't. No. Shorts.
Oh, no.
And T-shirts, yeah.
But you're used to coming over this time of year and it's normally gorgeous,
It's normally
isn't
warm, yes, it's normally nice.
Well, talking of tulips, as I'm sure you know, Istanbul is almost as famous for its tulips as Holland. And everybody goes to see the tulips in, I think it's normally the beginning of April, end of March, beginning of April. And apparently they haven't got any tulips because the weather's been so bad. So I'm hoping that the Tulip Festival here that's on this weekend will have lots of tulips, please, because they're gorgeous. Page 3, helping through music. Did you read this one about this lovely it's an organisation called Tulips who help all sorts of people with cancer. And they were looking for some musical instruments to help the younger members that have cancer. And the Harmony Music Shop in Gazimaguzi came up with all these instruments.
Yeah,
Isn't that
it's very
amazing?
nice. Yeah,
Isn't it? I think that's lovely. And also it brings the children together playing music, doesn't it? I think, you know, they forget, or you can forget a little bit, you know, what's happening and get on with some music, which is always lovely. Beauty by Bike, again on page 3. A bicycle ride was organised by Turkbank as part of their environmental awareness activities on Sunday the 11th of March. Hope the weather was a bit better than it's going to be this weekend. And the Hash House Harriers are having a memorial walk. That's a wonderful organisation here which takes everybody out walking on a first Sunday in the month, I think. And Maureen Hutchinson was a very well-known lady in this island and raised so much money for so many different causes. And sadly, she lost her battle with cancer at the end of last year. And this is a memorial walk for her, so I'm sure lots of people will turn up for that. 3 Ferraris. Did you give a Ferrari? I didn't give mine.
No.
I
wish I had one to give.
To the nearest university. You know the new hospital that's on the... You see it as you're going from Ghent to Lefkosia.
Yeah.
Huge building. They have a museum for cars. Did you know that?
No, I didn't, until I've read this article.
Would you have thought that a hospital would have had a museum for cars?
No.
No. Amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is the one of the directors there is absolutely mad about cars and started collecting them, and then they repair them and put them into pristine condition. And somebody's actually given them 3 Ferraris.
Yeah. And I've noticed they've got one of the oldest cars there as well.
Haven't they?
I think
What sort was that?
Was it 1902 or 1922?
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
That's,
it was a Wolsey.
1906 model.
1906.
Oh, crumbs. The first time I went to the hospital, as you're driving around, because you have to go, it's a bit like a one-way system, and there were the big doors open, and I thought, why are all those classic cars in there? You know, this is a hospital. But they have done wonderful work, and it's open from, on a Monday to Friday, it's open from 8 until 1 and 2 till 5. So go and have a look. It's well worth it, and it's nice to see some old cars in pristine condition.
And it's free to get in.
Yeah. Yes, I think some days there'll be some Renault Broadways, because there's enough of those here on the island, isn't there?
Renault Broadways, yeah.
1 or 2. On page 5, Fodder in the Frame. Unusual name, but it's the Cyprus Turkish Photography Association is called Fodder. And they arranged a tour around the Mesosoria Plain villages. And that's a stunning area, isn't it? Do you know that area?
Yes, I do.
It's wonderful.
Yes, it's amazing.
I mean, when you look at it, you think that if that was, if it grew all the vegetables, it could feed the whole of this island and probably half of the Mediterranean, couldn't it? It's just a stunning area. But lovely pictures there of everybody having a lovely time, having a walk. And then they stopped at an equestrian centre and they finished. It was opened in 2004. Not too many of those here. Page 6. Do you know how much money we raise over here for charities?
No, I don't. No idea.
Thousands upon thousands of lira. And this was just one coffee morning, 3,000 lira in one day. That's a lot, isn't it? It's just under £1,000.
Pounds, yeah, that's very good.
For a coffee morning.
Yeah.
And that's for the North Cyprus Cancer Trust funds. And I think I was saying to you earlier before we came on air, is it in London that you... I don't remember it being the same in London where everybody got together and threw money into a bucket or anything. Is it different in London now or not? Still
Yeah,
the
I
same?
think there's so many charities out there and so many people knocking on your door. People are starting to withdraw and then choose their own charities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I do as well. I normally nominate a charity each year and pay that charity. And if anyone knocks, I say, I've already.
They knock on the door?
Oh, of course they do, yeah.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's big over there. There's so many charities. You've got them on the streets. You have it advertised on TV, on radio, and you even get people knocking on the door.
Wow, because here we probably a couple of handfuls of charities, so it's not so difficult. But is it? Do you think also in England that you there are so many? Also, you have to fend for yourself a bit more in England, you know, with everything cost of living, or not?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's difficult, but no matter how difficult it is, the British people are very generous, and they'll always dig deep.
Yeah.
And give money to a good cause.
Well, they
always.
certainly do here.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely unbelievable. I'd love to have known from the day somebody started either raising money for a cat's home or whatever, how much they've raised. Because every week we say, 1,000 here, 100,000 there, 50,000 here. It's a tremendous amount of money. All for local people.
Yeah, it's good.
Which is wonderful, yeah. Page 7, this is an emotional farewell as an era of a journalism ends. That's one of the country's most respected journalists was paid tribute by a host of people during an emotional farewell dinner marking the end of a historic career. And this was one of our very own reporters here that had been in the business for 52 years.
Wow.
That's amazing, isn't it? In one profession. And he worked here at the Cyprus Star and Ada TV. And he said it was a joy for him to be able to work with his colleagues. And that's very sad that he's gone, but the door is always open here for him to come back, which was a lovely saying by Mr. Ali Osman Safa. So as Özkan has retired, but maybe we'll be back, we hope. But everybody said some lovely things about him, and what a wonderful, unique person he was. And after 52 years, for people still to be saying nice things about you is quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Now, this is interesting because I'd like to hear your point of view on this. This is page 8, and this is calls for supermarkets to close on a Sunday. How would that go down in England?
To close on a Sunday, yeah, it wouldn't go down very well at all.
No, and this is because the big supermarkets think that, the little supermarkets, think that they are not having a sort of fair run of it because of the big supermarkets.
It wouldn't make any difference, I don't think. If they were to shut on a Sunday, people would go on a Saturday or a Monday or a Tuesday, especially when there's a recession.
Yeah.
People look at their pockets more than anything else. So.
Yeah, you see the smaller supermarkets here are saying they need a chance to survive.
Yeah. Maybe, you know, I think there's something that could be done if people did want to. I mean, people should support the small supermarket, the little corner shop.
Yeah.
And maybe choose a day. You know, just say okay. You know, maybe
buy locally once a week or something.
Yeah. But I don't think closing the supermarket on Sunday and forcing people to go and buy it is going to work.
No.
The individual has to make that choice.
Yeah,
himself.
they do.
Yeah.
And you buy what you like. We're all used to buying the same thing. There's certain items we buy at the same thing. Well, if you can't get them at the corner shop and they're cheaper at the supermarket, you'll go to a supermarket.
Exactly.
Because I said to you earlier, when did they close? And it was your brother that reminded you. When did they start opening? On a Sunday, wasn't it, in England?
Yeah, I think it was the late 70s, 78, 79.
Yeah, that seems ages ago, doesn't it? I mean, but to now go backwards and here and closing a supermarket on a Sunday.
Yeah. And we were saying it was the church that was against it.
Yeah, that's right. But, I mean, there are a certain amount of people here that do still shop at the corner shop because they don't have any transport to go anywhere else, don't they? I mean, I see them every day shopping in local shops, you know, especially for bread. And funnily enough, the article at the bottom is on the same line, really. Shopkeepers air their grievances. And this is one of the political opposition parties, the Democratic Party, listened to people's complaints in Lefkosia the other day. And they said, we have observed very few people actually shopping in the area, despite tourists being around. There isn't the money, is there?
No.
I mean, is it the same in England? Are people hanging on to the money?
People have changed their ways of shopping. So now they're going to, you have cheaper supermarkets.
Yes.
So instead of going to the big brands, I don't want to name.
You can.
I can.
Yes.
Instead of going to Marks and Spencers or Sainsbury's, they go to places like Lidl or Iceland, and they're saving a lot of money by doing that. So they've changed because of the way things, the economy is at the moment.
Yeah. And have you? When were you last over here?
It was last November.
Okay, so that's November, December, January, February, March. So about 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything different in the towns?
Oh yes, what I've noticed is there's a lot of closed stores now, more
From
than
that-
what I'd seen last time. Yeah.
From November till
Till
now.
Yeah, I've
So
noticed.
it was really noticeable to you.
Yes,
that-
it was. Yeah.
That's what tourists look at as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Why are the shops closed? And yet we've got rows and rows of concrete blocks of new shops being finished. Where are the people going to come from to take these shops on? I always wonder. Why? And I think it looks bad for a town when shops are closed down.
Yeah.
But is it the same in London?
Yes,
England?
of course it is. Yes.
So it's no
Shops
different.
are closing down left, right, and centre.
Yeah. I think it's the same the world over,
World
isn't
over.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a worldwide recession.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I think the only two countries that are doing well is China and India.
Yes.
So I'm told.
Yeah. Yes, that's right, yeah. On page 9, drilling to start this month. Says Turkey will drill for oil or gas in North Cyprus towards the end of March, the head of the state energy company TPAO said on Monday. Any gas discovered in the area could raise the stakes in the negotiations over unification of the island and possibly increase tensions in the eastern Mediterranean. That's about the last thing I want to hear or read about is any more tensions. But Cyprus...
It'd be nice for them to find gas though. And
It
we'd
would.
and we'd have pipe gas instead
Yes.
of canisters.
Bottle. Yeah, absolutely. Save all that carrying home because
Yeah.
you see people, especially...
And the worry of running out.
Absolutely. And of course we've had lots of strikes in between you being away. So we've had electricity strikes. So of course, people have been carrying more gas containers for light, for heat and everything. And you see people struggling along with them. Yeah. Oh, it's not easy. Erolu talks to Ankara. TRNC President Erolu paid one-day official visit to Ankara as guest of the Turkish president. The critical phase reached in the Cyprus negotiations was on the president's agenda during the meeting with the Turkish state government. So, again, where will it go? And at the top of page 9, again, the property issues, again, were discussed by Erolu and Christophorias. Again, but you had a good idea about the property.
I think the issue can be resolved quite easily through both governments, and that's pay everybody off. That's
do you think it'll work out even? I mean, do you think it's going to be it's 6 of one, half a dozen another, 50% up here, 50% down there, so they might be able to write it off?
I don't know whether it's even. I couldn't tell you whether it would be even. But even if it wasn't, all it is an issue of money.
Yes, it is.
And that can be resolved quite easily. Why is that
That's a
putting a
brilliant
stop?
idea.
Why is that putting a stop to negotiations?
Yeah.
It's a silly thing.
Yeah, and it does seem as if it's the one thing that comes up all the time, Page 10, and I think this is something that happened years and years ago in England. There's a hotline established to denounce illegal workers. So they can just phone in now and say, so-and-so is working, the number is 102, and sort of tell everybody who's working and shouldn't be working. So
That's quite a norm for something like that to happen when there's a recession.
Yes.
Because people become out of work and then...
have to do other things,
It's happened in the UK as well.
Yes, I'm sure, yes. And this story, I know you liked this one, didn't you, about the former president, Ralph Denktash. It's a perfect picture honour. This is some of his pictures are now in an exhibition in Ankara. Because he was a very, very enthusiastic photographer, wasn't he? Apart from writing books. And it's lovely to see them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember in the past always, every time I did see him, he had a camera with him.
Did he?
Yeah. And he visited, our village as well in Getchikale when they had elections and that. And I did remember him carrying the camera, and I thought, oh, one day he's going to have an exhibition. And I thought it would be in his retirement days. But
I suppose it takes
nice
time
to see
to
that
catalogue all those and everything, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
it must take ages. So, and on page 11 again, great interest in the TRNC. This is a stand of the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus set in the Berlin International Tourism Fair, which around 550,000 people are expected to visit. So that'll be interesting, because I know there's been one or two sort of controversial bits about us having a stand in certain countries, hasn't there?
I was just wondering whether that was you know, classed as illegal, with
Yes.
Cyprus being
Occupied country.
occupied country. Yeah.
It sounds awful, doesn't it, that occupied?
Because
yes.
we had an article go out, I saw an article a few weeks ago go out in the Evening Standard, and someone was promoting Northern Cyprus, Kyrenia. He came, took some lovely pictures, explained that the country was beautiful, the people were kind, the food was fantastic, the sea was marvellous, and basically they had people complaining about it, saying, oh, you know, the standard should be sued because
Really?
they've written about, you know, they're promoting Cyprus, which is an illegal state. This is what was being said. Then you had people in the forum, you know, you had Greek people saying, oh, you had the Turkish invaded, and then you had the Turkish defending, and it just got out of hand, and then they had to close the forum. But yeah, it was a major shame, yes.
Oh,
ridiculous
major
after
shame.
all this time, and it's still going on. You know.
I know. Yes, it is. It's such a long time, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's it just goes on and on. But page 13, panic near Kyrenia Gate. This was an accident in the capital Lefkosia, caused panic on the morning of Saturday, March the 10th, when a driver lost control of his vehicle while turning the corner into the road near Kyrenia Gate. And I'm sure you all know as you go round the corner, don't you, there's the gun there. Well, the gun isn't there anymore. It's in the front of this Mercedes at the moment. And one poor gentleman that was sitting having a cup of coffee in a bank, he said, I thought for a moment a bomb had exploded as he stumbled out of the cafe.
Yeah.
It must have made an awful bang when it went, mustn't it?
Yeah, I was just wondering what age he was, because he could have experienced the 74 war and thought it was a bomb.
Yes, because you wouldn't know the sound, would you?
No.
If you, interesting. And something that's very dear to my heart here, in page 14, historic houses face demolition. Please don't demolish them all. These are some beautiful buildings, the older buildings, which were originally built with traditional mud, brick and wooden materials in the walled city area of Lefkosia. I mean, it's a stunning area.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see them go, and I know if they are extremely dangerous, then yes, they have to, but some of these should be restored.
Yeah.
Because
And
they're
I think
beautiful.
this is what I've noticed over the years. Every time I come over and I see that, you know, new buildings are being built all the time.
Yes.
And the old are being neglected, and all it needs is a little, you know, love and care, a bit of
It is.
rendering on the outside, and you know, they'd last a long time. And it's just a shame to see things, you know, properties like that fall apart.
It is.
And they're also talking about demolishing them, aren't they?
They are, yes. Bulldozing them, yes, to put up some concrete, which is such a shame. Again, this is another strange, well, not strange, it's a sad story here. Little children playing with danger. This is some children in a little village here that don't even have a playground or anywhere to play. So like all children, we've all done it. You play wherever you can. And a building site is always good fun, isn't it? Because there's lots of bits of bricks and things left over. But these children are standing by these reinforcing bars, and we've all seen them on buildings here. And I mean, that's an accident waiting to happen there,
Yes,
isn't
it
it?
is. Yeah.
Did you not tell me you
Yeah,
stood on one
I've
of
actually
those?
put my foot through one of them as well, just about